Wake up early every day and think about you. Wake up early and I feel your grace, I feel it all. I found love, this is enough, I won't let go.
The Wisdom and Opinion Show.
Once again, we are back. Welcome to the Wisdom and Opinion Show. Feature your man, Prophet Josiah. Today I'm at the beach. I just had to do it today, tired of sitting in my office. So I'm doing the show from the beach today, featuring your man, Prophet Josiah. And along with me, I have the infamous, as you already know, Mr.
2B in the building with y'all. How's everybody doing? On this show, we'll be discussing wisdom from God and opinions
from us.
It's
as simple as
that. Right.
So my man got the super dope topic today. I let him pick because I always get blamed for picking the topic. So I'm letting him pick. So if y'all don't like the topic, it's his fault. It's not mine. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. So yeah, with that being said, I wanted to talk about something that, is known but not like discussed like that, which is the double standards between men and women. I mean, that's a real topic right there, man. We see it even from children. We see it, boys are taught, that you fall, I remember when I was a kid, I don't care what happened to you. They tell you get up. You could be done broke your leg. Like, shake that off. Right. Shake that off. What's wrong with you, boy? You get up, you didn't, And then girls are, oh, come here. They hug them and everything like that. So there's always been a double standard between men and women, and even the ideals of how we were raised. But one topic that I did want to bring up in specific was I read an article about Steve Harvey's daughter, Lori. It was talking about how she is being lauded in the social media world because she's had a lot of men partners, like she's with a lot of dudes. And they even have a phrase. It's called
you mean
Lori
she's
Harvey.
Had a lot of boyfriends, or are you talking about sexual partners? Like, what do you mean?
Well, the thing is that people can't say specifically if it's sexual partners or if it's just boyfriends. I think nowadays most people, which this may be a double standard as well, but most people expect that if you're with a dude that you're sleeping with him anyway, or vice versa. Just what we do. And so, well, not we, but that's just what people do.
Like, like at a restaurant or walking around.
Because you see people in relationships, or because you see them consistently, then people are, because, in social media anyway, by the time, if you're famous, most people don't actually admit to dealing with you until you're being seen with them.
Right.
Because they don't want the pressure of, all of that. So they, by the time you see him with them, then that's when you claiming people. So yeah, so she's being lauded for that, and people are making it seem like that, she's, for lack of better words, like, she's a hoe.
Wow.
And that's how people are making it seem. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know her, but that is how people are making it seem.
I've never heard this. This is interesting.
Yeah. So it's just like, but it's a double standard, because if it was a man, and really it is a man, it is men all the time that have different women who are there with. Some men even admit to sleeping with a lot of women, and they're not lauded. They're not, talked about or ashamed or anything like that. But when a woman does, then it's a bad look. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, men get called hoes too, but it's more like a tongue in cheek, like nobody cares though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, wow, you a man hoe. Good job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's a chick, it's like, oh, you a hoe. It's like, wow, you a hoe. Like, you just lay around and sleep with mad people like that. I think that's true. I don't really know what else to say about that. I mean, it's true.
So I mean, all right. So it's true. So, all right. Then how about this? Why do you think it is that women are talked about and basically ostracized for having multiple sexual partners when men do it all the time? And it's the same thing. And even from a man's standpoint, right? Like, even from a man's standpoint.
Yeah.
When we really are serious about a woman, generally most men, I can't say all men, but generally there are a lot of men who do not want a woman, we call them bodies, with a lot of bodies on her. You know what I mean? We don't want a woman with a lot of bodies, even though we may have a lot of bodies ourselves. We don't want a woman with a lot of bodies. Why? What do you think is up with that?
I mean, I don't think, I mean, it's just like anything. Nobody wants something. I mean, saying like you want something that's kind of brand new from clothes to, you know, electronics or whatever it is. You want something brand new, not something that's been used that other people have partaken of. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's just men though. I don't think women want a used penis either. Like, yo, you sleeping around, got mad baby mamas. Like, I don't think that's something. I don't think that's something anybody wants.
I don't know. I don't know that it's something. All right,
in the audience, we're gonna need y'all to chime in. We do. Now. We're gonna need y'all to chime in.
Y'all gotta chime in
because I need to know.
Women, like, where y'all at?
Like, do women like used penis? I'm like I know for a fact men don't like used vagina. Like, this has been used too much
at all.
Right. Especially, well, I think it depends on how long ago it was. So like, you know what I mean? Like, just coming from the Christian perspective, like I'm saying, your past could be super wild and then you changed your life. So like, if it was like a long time ago, I don't think I would care that much. If it was like, oh yeah, you're saying that was a long time ago or whatever, I don't really care. But if it was like last week, like yesterday, like a year ago, you just was super wild, that means everything is still kind of fresh. What it feels like anyway. It's like, but if it was like, you know, if you like 35 and you like, you know, saying when I was 18, I was a hoe, but I cleaned my life up. It's like, oh, okay, well, that was a long time ago.
I don't think women necessarily like or want a dude that's that, but I think, again, it's a part of the double standard in our society that women have become acceptant to the fact that dudes sleep around, whereas men have not become acceptant to that fact. Like, if I find that out, like if somebody tell me that, then I'm like, yo, I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta let you go. But
what if they call you on the same thing? Then like, are you gonna change your mind? If they're like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking to a chick and she, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously this is super hypothetical because we're both married. But yes, it's like, you know what I'm saying? But if you was not married, you were single and you're talking to somebody and you find out that, you know what I'm saying, it was getting around or whatever. And then you like, yo, look, I can't really be hollering at you like that. My man's told me that you know what I'm saying, that you got around back in the day. And then she's like, yeah, we ran in the same circles. Like, you got around too.
Yo, all right. So the honest answer, I'm gonna keep it real. The honest answer is that now that I got a little bit of maturity on me, now I realize that men and women, you know, both have pasts. So you can't judge. I can't judge you for the same past that I had. Like, that's not fair. And I realized that. However, when I was younger, it was over. It was over. If they
called you out.
Even if they called me out, I don't care. I felt like I was a man. This is what men do, which is a part of, it's real.
Standard.
Exactly. Double standard, because that's how we was raised, though. That's how we was raised. I got two daughters now. And, you know, I don't want them messing around with a bunch of dudes. Like, I don't want, when they start dating and all like that.
Well, I mean, see, like, there's a conflict. One, we're Christian, right? So it's like, you shouldn't be sleeping around anyway, man or woman. I mean, obviously, that's what I'm not even talking about. Daughters.
I don't even want them dating, to be honest. I mean, I'm just, if they keep it real, I know they got to date.
You want them to just marry somebody, you know, to just marry at first sight, no dates.
Nah. I'm saying,
I know what it is. You want to arrange the finish. I got you.
Nah, I'm just saying, man, like, I'm just saying, I want to be very cautious and very careful with them.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Because they're females or whatever. And so because I know what I used to do, then I'm like, I don't, you know what? Matter of fact, that also goes into the double standard category. Has anybody ever said to you, because you got a daughter as well.
Yep.
Has anybody ever said to you, would you want your daughter to date a man like you? Have you ever heard that before?
I have not, but they probably would. I don't have like a like a negative. I don't have a negative thing about me where it's like, I don't want nobody to marry somebody like you, because it's just like most people that I talk to are like, you know, saying he's a good person or a good guy. That's somebody I would want my daughter to date or whatever. But I have heard that about other people, you know what I'm saying, from movies, right. TV shows, you know what I'm saying, people just talking or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, even like Nas said it in a song when he was like, in his song called Daughters, he says something to the effect of like, God gets us back, the dudes that was players, by making us have little girls or something. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, you know, that's something that we just have to deal with or whatever. And he talked about how he wasn't the greatest father figure because his daughter took a picture of some condoms on a dresser or something like that. And that's really, really interesting because even in the song, he was saying, should I say something about her or should I not say something about her? She seen me with a bunch of women. How is it going to look if I tell her she's not supposed to do that or whatever? And so I think it is kind of a dilemma. I think some double standards might need to be there. Some do not.
For instance.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like, I don't expect my daughter to like fight another guy for her boyfriend or for her husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people try to make everything 50-50. Like, everything has to be even. And it's just kind of like, God didn't make us that way though. Like, we are literally built differently. Men typically are more stronger. They're more muscular. Women tend to be more softer. Just generally speaking, you know what I'm saying? Obviously there's exceptions to every rule or whatever, but if I'm training my son to be a leader, to protect his family, to protect his wife, to protect his children, if he is somewhere and someone's approaching his wife or his girlfriend the wrong kind of way, I expect him to step up and be like, yo, I'm the man in the situation, I'm going to take care of it, or step up or do something. I wouldn't expect my daughter to do that same thing. Like, yeah, you out with your boyfriend, make sure you stand up and fight the guy for him. Like, that's his job. I mean, from my standpoint anyway. And so that's a double standard though. Like, why you got a different rule for her than you got for him? Because I feel like the man was built for that and she's not. Not that she cannot do it. Obviously, there's women that are well trained in all types of fighting techniques and stuff like that. But just generally speaking, most women are not. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one instance of a double standard, I think.
Hold on, and before you move from there, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that, or did you ever see that episode of Fresh Prince when Nia Long had protected
In fact,
Will
I saw this
at
on
the bowling
Instagram
alley
the other day. Yeah. In fact, I might just throw it up in here.
Excuse me, Dark Gable? In case you didn't notice, this is my date.
I told him.
Hey, baby, why don't you ditch the go-kart and step up to a stretch limo? Excuse me, Messy Snipes? Listen, why don't you just take your limo and ease on about my face, all right? Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
We'll just let it go.
No, baby. He started this. Now I'm gonna finish it. saved your butt. Get up.
You should because like, so how should men feel about that? Because you're talking about the double standard that a man should be the one to protect. But what if, as you said, like she was training in some type of karate or something like that. Right, so she was able to defend Will after I think he got knocked out. Like I want to say,
yeah,
I believe
something
the dude
happened.
knocked him out, and then she hopped in.
But the thing was, he stepped up, and I think he got punched in the face or something like that, and he fell down. And then after that,
right, and got then
you know, then she did her thing or whatever.
Hopped in there,
but
how should you feel as a man with that though? Like, because his ego was bruised. If you remember that episode, yeah, his ego was bruised.
I mean, his ego was bruised anyway though, because he got punched in the face. So, and he fell on the ground.
Well,
so not only was his ego bruised, his face was bruised. You know what I'm saying? His elbow because he was on the ground. So it's like, I don't know how you should feel about anything. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, I think he did, you know what I'm saying? In that scenario, I think he did what he was supposed to do. Obviously, you can't win every, you know what I'm saying? You can't win every fight or whatever, but he didn't just allow the situation to continue happening. He did what he thought he could do. It turned out one way, and then she did what she could do. I think it's whack when like you're saying he should just chill, she should do that. And it's like, I mean, unless she has, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless somebody has training like that, then I guess you could, you know what I'm saying, defer to that person because like, yo, they got training. Like that's what they do.
I don't think I ever could. Know. Like I honestly don't think. I don't care if my wife was a owned her own karate school. Like I couldn't defer to her if something were to arise in that category. Now that may be a double standard. Yes, that's cool if people want to say.
Do you think that's wise?
Commenting that on the bottom.
So let's say
that's probably absolutely not wise in some cases.
I was about to say, like, let's say somebody is an actual, they are full on expert. Like this is what they do. This is not just like right. You know, she took a couple, you know, like Taibo classes or something. Like this is what she did. She full on black.
Yeah.
Belt. You are nothing. You have no extracurricular physical.
You are nothing.
Hand-to-hand combat skills. You know what I'm saying? You're just a regular person. You would step in front of her, the one that is the trained, I'll knock you out with like one kick and it's over.
Yeah. So, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Or should I do like Friday? No. You want some too, old man? No.
That was funny.
Literally, I would, but I would just because you know I got some double standards. No, I got some double standards I got to get worked out. This is therapy, y'all. You know what I mean? We here, we talking. This is therapy. This is what it do. And I got some double standards I got to get worked out. And so, if it was me, then I would rather be the Will Smith that hopped in the way of the punch and got knocked out, and then she had to do something about it. Then I would be the one to say, nah, babe, you go ahead. Cause you more so, no, you go ahead. I would rather be that guy.
I feel that. Because it just makes you look better.
I mean, it does. Like, it literally does. Like,
it just makes
even
you
she's
better.
gonna have more respect for you if you're like, he took that L. You know what I'm saying? But hey, but he did it for me though. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have more.
He took that L, but he did it for me.
You're gonna have more respect, I feel, like in that way. And I'm like, nah, babe, you go ahead. You handle that. You the black belt. Like, no, that's not going down. But in the same respect, there are also things that like I was raised with man ideals and women ideals, or boy and girl ideals. Like now the line is kind of getting blurred. Like I feel the line is getting really blurred in terms of what's acceptable to be a boy
in a good way or in a bad way.
I think in a bad way, to be honest.
I think it's both.
What's the good? Maybe because I haven't thought about it.
So like just just like generally speaking, again, obviously exceptions to every rule. But if we just go back in history, women start off as almost like nothing. Then they're like property. Mm-hmm. Then you're like, we give you a little bit of rights. Then, okay, you can stay in the kitchen. Okay, now we'll let you vote because your opinion matters now. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's so all the way up to now, and it's still not even all the way. So it's like I get it to a certain extent. Like women are people. Like they're not children. They're not inferior. They're not less smart or, you know what I'm saying? Less.
Absolutely.
They're not less than or less capable or any of that kind of thing. And so I think it's dope when a woman or a girl or a female is like, I want to do maybe something that traditionally a man does, right? I'm like, as long as you're capable to do that thing, I don't feel like you should be held back just because you're a woman. And that's the only reason. If you're strong enough, big enough, can do what's expected, you know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, like a fireman or something like that. Even the term fireman is like assume that it's a man. It's not, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear,
it was.
You know what I'm saying? You don't hear firewoman or like,
no, I mean, it
or
was
like a doctor.
Created,
a doctor used to be considered a man thing. A nurse used to be considered a woman thing. Now you see male nurses and you see female doctors as well. And so I think those are examples of things that are positive. And then on the flip side, I think there's examples of things that are negative. That's why I said it's both. It just depends on, you know what I'm saying, what it is.
For me personally, I think that even what you said has led to a lot of roles, like I said, like roles being intertwined and things like that. So even in what you said, like, I think that I agree with what you said. With that being said, women are now taking on a lot of things that were considered to be man roles. So you have now women who are going out and working and dudes who are taking care of the family at the house. Whereas back in the day, that wasn't a thing. Like, that was like the man went out, the man worked, the woman was at the house, she was making sure the kids, you know, was good, whatever.
And nowadays, most times both people have to work anyway. Some people, you just can't afford for one person to work.
True. But you have in this case, then you have what I'm talking about is the women who take on somewhat of man roles in terms of seeing as how they're the ones that go out and they work, and dudes have a lot of, there are men, I'll say, who have taken on the role of, I'm at home, I'm playing PlayStation or whatever the latest game, Xbox or whatever that is. I'm at home, I'm playing this. I don't have to work. She's out there working. She's out there doing it or whatever. So it's cool. And I think, and then you see women who have taken on like roles where they feel like that they can boss the dude around because he's not working, because he's bringing nothing to the table, and they are. So now you got some women that are out there that are telling dudes what to do, and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And it's just, it's
yeah, I mean,
man.
Yeah. I think there's two different things that you said, right? So the example you gave, to me, that's not a man and woman role. Like, nobody should just be sitting at home playing video games doing nothing while the other person is going to work. Like that's not a woman's role to sit at home and play video games. That's just like I mean, to be honest, that's a lazy person's role. Like, you don't do nothing. So in that case, man or woman, if you don't do anything, I kind of do got the right to boss you around. I don't care who you are. Like, you don't do nothing. You're like a kid almost. Like, yo, are you gonna wash the dishes? Are you gonna, you're saying, like, what's happening right here? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm talking to my son. Like, yo, why are you playing video games when you should be doing your chores? Like, you just don't do nothing. I think that's a bad choice of a partner if you selected that person, man or woman, that they don't want to do nothing. Like, yo, I just want to sit home and play video games.
That's the case, though.
Yeah,
like,
but
there's people.
But
there's
to
a lot
me,
of
that's like
that are like that.
Yeah, but to me, that's outside of. Well, yeah, he's playing the woman role. She's playing the man role. Nah, he's playing the lazy role, and she's just going to work because people gotta go to work. If you want to eat and you want to pay your rent, and you know what I'm saying, you're a single person. I mean, you gotta go to work.
No, that's true. But and I'm talking more so in terms of like actually, again, if you're talking about traditional ways we were brought up, the man went and worked and took care of his family. The woman stayed at home. No matter what she was responsible for doing at home, she was still at home. And
but it hasn't been that way in like a really, really long time. That's like a super long time ago. And not only that,
well,
that like paradigm is almost outdated just because the financial part doesn't work anymore. Like, I mean, sometimes it does because somebody just makes like a super ton of money, you know what I'm saying? And the other person does not. But typically, to just survive, you need 2 incomes in the house. So even if you wanted to do that, you almost got to live like super modest. Or,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, back then it worked because the way the finances were, it's like, yo, you could work one job and then everything could be taken care of. And then the woman was at home or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? Like a good example of this is even with, what's this lady's name? Tabitha. You know who that is?
I think that's
Black
the lady.
Woman.
I don't know what she's done.
She said she retired her
I
husband.
want to say that she's in the show The Chi.
She is.
She retired her husband?
She retired her husband. So this is like a really good example because this was like a big thing. So here's what happened. She was doing her acting / cooking / I don't know that much about her, so I don't want to misconstrue it, but I know she's like doing super well right now, right? But at the beginning, she said she made a deal with her husband and said, you know what I'm saying, you go to work and I'm going to do this thing over here for about 5 years. And then if it doesn't work after 5 years, I'll go back to work. So she said we struggled because there was only one income, right? And it turned out it just took her longer than 5 years. So it was like 15 years. And he was working on the police force or whatever. And she finally got to a place recently where now she's making good money. So she said, well, look, I told you 5 years, it's been 15 years. You could quit your job now. And, you could just do whatever you feel like doing. And so now he basically retired from his job and he kind of helps her and he does whatever his dream is or whatever. And so she talked about this on her Instagram page. And what's the black gossip lady that's on TV that talks about everybody?
Wendy Williams?
Wendy Williams. Shout out to you for knowing who it is because it skipped my mind. So Wendy Williams went on her show and talked about this lady. Like, she was like, so this lady comes out, says she's retiring on her husband or whatever. I would never do that because we know how that's going to turn out. In a couple years, he going to leave her and do this and do this and do that and whoop, whoop, whop. And it was just like, it was like, yo, what? It was like, why are you coming at this lady like that? So Tabitha responded to Wendy Williams. And you know how, I don't know if you know how she talks or not, but in all her videos, she's kind of like, hey, how you doing? She has a very calm and peaceful way of talking. She talks about God a lot. And so she gets on camera. She's like, yeah, so my phone's blowing up. People telling me Wendy Williams is talking about me, this, and that.
I honestly wasn't even going to respond. Like that morning went like this. I was sitting right here working and my phone started going off. And I was like, Lord, why are these people mess? I mean, it's like 7 a.m. for me. And I look and people are like, girl, Wendy Williams is talking about you. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know she knew me. And then somebody sent me the clip. I said, oh my God, oh, Lord. And I put my phone on back down and went back to working. I was like, Lord, bless her heart. Like, she don't know me. I went back to working, and it's like God said, this is the moment where you give this woman grace. And I said, well, I don't really care, right? And he was like, but it's not about you in this moment. And so I just, from my heart, did the video with no expectation that people would go crazy.
Hello there. Y'all all right? Very good, honey. I was up doing a little work here. That's why I got my pajamas on in my office. And then my phone started going off, like praising people. It's like, girl, you're Wendy Williams. First of all, Wendy Williams, honey, God bless you. God bless you. Okay. And so people sent me a little clip. And I said, oh my God, the pain this woman must be in. Wendy, the pain you must be in to feel this way. And I'm so sorry. But listen, let me tell you this. 23 years I've been with my husband. Yes. Broke for a very long time together. Struggled for a very long time together. Succeeded for the last couple of years together, right? My husband took a job in agreement with me. He took a job 15 years ago to help support my dream. And I know you may not know what that looks like in a genuine place, right? But this was an agreement that my husband and I had. And I told him 15 years ago, oh, babe, in 5 years, I'll be able to take you out of there so then you can pursue one of your dreams that you love. Right now, I was his dog in the fight, okay? And he believed in me. And we did it together for the last 15 years.
Put the video on here just so everybody can see. And she's just kind of like, she's like, I understand. We gonna pray for you or whatever. It was so, her response was so fire that I can't even repeat it because it just was that good. It was very loving. It was very heartfelt. It was very like, you don't understand it because this is something that God is doing in our lives or whatever. Like right. you wasn't there when my husband worked 15 years for me while I was struggling to get it going. So for me to say, I'm going to retire him, that's how much love we have for each other. And it's almost like they just, which is the way I think it should be. Like it should be whatever the two of you guys come up with and decide that that's what you want to do. When you try to force somebody into a role just because, oh, you're a woman, so you got to do this. Oh, you a man, so you got to do this. Whether you're suited for it or not, this just seems dumb to me. Like, let's do what we're suited for. I'm best at this. You're best at that. I'm bigger, I'm stronger. Maybe I should do bigger, stronger things instead of making you struggle to do it. You know what I'm saying? If your skill set is this other thing, then maybe you should do that. And within that dynamic, figure out what it should be. So I'm saying, like, for me, because I'm a Christian, I try to follow what God says to do. So I feel like in my house as a husband, God has designated me the leader, but it doesn't mean that I'm the man. You just got to do what I say. Like, that's not what scripture says. You know what I'm saying? I should be seeking counsel from my wife. I'm saying I can lead without being a jerk. You know what I'm saying? I can lead with wisdom and still get other people's input to make the best decision instead of it just being, I'm in charge. I'm just going to do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying?
Pardon the interruption, but if you like what you saw so far,
make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their mama to tune in right now. This is your chance. Right now. Hit the bell right now.
Back to the show. Hold on, let me jump in real quick because for those that, I actually, I work at the court. So there's a difference. There's a distinct difference in how we deal with men in relation to abuse of women and women in relation to abuse of men. Is it right?
Of course.
No, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. But I have seen instances where women have came in and they've been the ones to do it. And it's just like, oh, well, that's just a woman, like it's cool. Matter of fact, I'll never forget. I used to work on the probate and family floor, which is, a lot of child support, different things like that. Mm-hmm. And, it's kind of rare occasion that women get put on child support, but they do.
Right.
And so there was a woman who got put on child support or whatever. And it was the first time I'd ever saw it. It was crazy. I was just like, yo, like the woman is on child support? We're serious here? And they was like, yeah. So came to the point where she wasn't paying child support. They had the case on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude was like, yo, I want her locked up. Because if it was me, y'all would lock me up. So I want her locked up straight like that. And the judge was like,
calm down,
we don't
sir.
really want to do this. Right. Exactly. They was like, come on, we don't have to go there. Like, she'll get the money. He was like, nah, she had plenty of time to pay it. Like, I don't know how many times we've been here for this. And like, if it was me, y'all would have double standard. And it's true. Double standard.
Took his license and everything.
Y'all have locked me up. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all have took my paycheck every week. Y'all have garnished it. But yet she's doing the same thing and y'all are doing nothing. So they was like, okay, we agreed. Mm-hmm. And they said, okay, we're going to lock her up. They said, you got till, I think they gave it to like 2:00. They was like, you got till 2:00 to come up with the money. Or you're going to get locked up.
Wow.
They left out. They left out of the courtroom. She took this chair. We had these like 50 to 70 pound, like 70s, made in the 70s chairs. And she took the chair or whatever. I'm dead serious. She took the chair while dude was walking out and she threw it at him like a 50 to 70 pound chair. She lifted it up. She just boom, threw it at him, knocked my man across the hallway. So, and I'm looking like, I can't believe she just did that. Yep. So I go down there ready to, I'm like, oh, okay, it's on. She getting locked up. So
right. Because this is your job.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This is my job.
Mm-hmm.
What do they tell me? No, hey, let's just walk her out. She's a little emotional right now. Let's just walk her out. Dude was like, let's just walk her out. She just assaulted me with a 50-pound object.
Right.
Like, and people saw it because there was literally people in the hallway.
Witnesses everywhere.
It's like, if people saw it, if that had been me, y'all have locked me up right now. Y'all just gonna walk her out. Right. And they was like, nah, we're just gonna walk her out. It's hey, she's having a bad day. What can you do? She's having a bad day. Let's walk her out. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So there's double standards on both sides.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, while you were talking, I like typed a note to myself so I won't forget. Mm-hmm. Teachers and students, like, if there's a male teacher that is having an inappropriate relationship with a student, whether it's a college to, you know what I'm saying, from a college professor to a student, or whether it's a high school and a student, if it's a man, he's thrown under the jail immediately.
Absolutely.
If it's a woman that's attractive, it's seen to be like, well, the kid got the good end of the deal or whatever. And it's just like, nah, bro, this is assault. This is not right, and they should be locked up. And typically, the teacher that is more attractive, almost nothing happens to them. You know what I'm saying? And the kid could actually truly be like traumatized. You know what I'm saying? If you're 10, 11, 12 years old and you have a teacher that's in a position of authority over you and you think you're in a real relationship, but they're just using you because there's something wrong with them, that messes with your mind. You know what I'm saying? But right. as a boy, you're taught to see that as, now you're a real man. You know what I'm saying? This like cool thing happened to you. And it's really, that's not cool for an adult to be physically with a child, you know what I'm saying? Man or woman. But again, it's the double standard, and that's just, it really just is what it is. Like, until we get to a place where justice is really justice, like, it's gonna always be like that.
Yo, man, going back to what I initially started talking about, right? Because it popped in my head. Should you, knowing double standards that men have towards women, should you ask your potential person that you're dating or about to get married to, should you ask them about their past? And you know, should you ask them about how many people that they've been with, and should you keep it real about your
course.
past?
I mean,
is that something you go into?
Anybody you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, there should be nothing should be hidden. If I ask you a question, you should be able to tell me. And if you can't tell me, maybe we're not as close as what we thought we was. You know what I'm saying? Especially about, you know what I'm saying, sexual partners and stuff like that. That's kind of important. Like that's something I need to know. I don't want to be with you. Some dude walks up and you're like, oh yeah, this is my friend from high school, or this is my friend from college or whatever. And you don't know that, you know, they was just having all types of crazy sex during that time period. And you thinking, oh, this is just some dude that you went to class with. And really this was your buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, that's information that you need to have so that you can recognize a sign of like, something's not right here. Like, why does it seem like he's always coming around? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't never want to be caught off guard by something like that. So I think that's extremely important. And then not only that, I need to be able to assess for myself, how does your past life affect me? Like right now, like if you had all these people you were with, are we in the same town with all these same people? Or are we going to be seeing them everywhere we go? Like, I need to know like what's really good. And I think the same is on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for a woman. Like, if you've been with all these people, like, I need to know so that I'm aware of like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I remember being in college. I was not with like a bunch of women in college, but I tried to talk to like a few different people just on some, hey, how you doing? I'm new here. What's your name? Da, da, da. And most of these people dissed me. They just was like, I'm not feeling you, whatever. All right, cool. And I'm the type of person, I don't really pursue people too far. So like, if I try to talk to you one time, just one, maybe twice, but typically once at that time, my mind was just like, yo, if you diss me, I'm never talking to you again. It's just whatever.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, if I try to holler at you and you clearly make it, you know, because they went out of their way to be like, I'm not feeling you. And I guess they was used to people to keep trying. I don't do that. Like, you're not feeling me. Cool. You're not feeling me. So anyway, I did that with a few different people. I meet my wife at college. We're talking, you know what I'm saying? We get together. And she's telling me all these chicks are giving her like weird looks and stuff like that. And I'm like, who? And she will point them out. And I'm like, oh, it's because all these chicks, I tried to talk to them and they try to play me. And now they're trying to figure out, how is it that you with me? Because I never tried to pursue them after they dissed me. And I'm just like, you didn't diss me. Like, we just was talking. We was friends. And it's just, I forgot why I brought this up. Oh, we're talking about having multiple people that, you know what I'm saying, multiple people that you were talking to and engaging in different things with. And the reason I brought that up was because she was getting funny looks. And even though I didn't even do anything with these people, it was still affecting her in like some weird kind of way. And I had to end up telling her, oh, these are people that I tried to talk to. But imagine if I never said anything. She would be like, yo, what's up with these chicks? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? So my whole point was to say it's important that you disclose everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, so nobody's caught out there.
That's the answer I hoped you would give. Because that's the answer I hoped you would give. Because my next question was, we do know that again, we're in a double standard society for the most part.
Yeah.
So there are women out there who really are some freaks. They are into some stuff. And, you know what I mean? Sexually, they're this guy.
She's a freak.
Sexually, they're very explorative. And that's that, right?
Right.
But that's looked down on typically by a lot of people in society. Like, you're looked at
not by the men that she's with, though.
Well, maybe not while she's with them, but they might tell other people when they find out, I don't like, you know what I mean? But then go behind or whatever. But typically that's not looked at as like a good thing. However, for men, then that's looked at as a conquest. It's looked at like, yo, like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm in the da-da-da-da-da. So as a woman, should you well, obviously you can't speak to that, but let's say our opinions from us, opinion wise, should women and men disclose that part of them as well? Obviously in a marriage, but what about a relationship? Because I mean, we're Christians, but there may be some people that are tuning in who aren't. And as a matter of fact, you know what I mean? It's probably the majority of the world isn't, and compared to those who are. So you have to look at it from a standpoint of though that if you're in a relationship, most people are sleeping with people. So should you keep it real? If you really want to be with dude, should you keep it real that I'm a freak? Like I like getting it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Everybody's not Christian, but I have to talk from my perspective. So it's just like, cool. I think you should always tell people what's really what. I probably wouldn't tell everybody everything on the first date. I don't think that's really necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Because first date, yeah. Like,
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You have to say that, because if you say, oh, so you expect me to, I'm saying we went out one time, I'm supposed to tell them my whole life? Like, nah, I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But once you reach a place where you feel like, you know what, this could probably actually go somewhere. I'm really feeling this person. I want to go to a next level of relationship with this person. Now it's this, you know what I'm saying? Before we get any further, let me explain who I really am and what you may or may not have heard about me. This is what it is. Because the last thing you want is to invest a bunch of time with a person, never tell them, and then they find out from somebody else. Like, that's going to ruin your whole joint. So you thinking, oh, I'm not going to tell them, they never going to know. And if you really was out there like that, they're going to find out. Somebody's going to tell them.
Absolutely.
And then what do you got? Now you look crazy. So all this time you just never told me that. Meanwhile, my man's telling me he was with you, his cousin was with you. You know, like it's different when you tell somebody something up front and then they can make their own decision. Like, oh, okay, you know what? You told me, I don't care because I'm feeling you. So it's just whatever. It's different when they don't tell you and then you find out. Then it's like, yeah, this is whack, because it makes you think, what else are you not telling me? And so we don't, I'm saying now we don't have a trust. But that's why I said I wouldn't do that on the first date, because you don't know them anyway. And it might not even be a second date. So why would you, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason to do that. Well, once you realize, hey, you know what I'm saying, we've been going out a while, I'm feeling you, I want to take this to another level, then you have to start telling more information, I think. That's my opinion. I mean, what's yours?
Nah, and I think it's a good opinion. I think that you have to keep it real with people. I think that a lot of relationships are kind of built around misnomers because of the fact that so many people feel like that they can't keep it real because they've been judged. So they kind of go about things in weird ways. They kind of like try to get to their agenda, like however they feel comfortable, because they don't feel like I can just tell you this is who I am, or this is what I've done, or this is what I'm into. So now I got to kind of just, you know what I mean? I got to, you know, try to figure out a way to make it happen without, you know, just keeping it real up front. Or I got to feel like I got to get you to love me first. So I got to get you to get into me first, and then I can change you, or I can, you know, tell you, you know, what's good.
And that,
I even know instances of that.
That is a bad look when you try to do that. I mean, we live in a society now where you can meet somebody, you know, you could meet a woman, but they was born a man, or you could meet a man and they was born a woman. Mm-hmm. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like a real actual thing now. Before it was kind of taboo. Oh, I mean, that happens rarely. Now it's probably like a regular thing now. So it's like, if you're one of these people where you started off one way and now you're a different way, and you meet somebody and they think that you're a woman, or they think that you were born the way that they currently see you, and you were not, you are obligated to tell that person, you know, let's just get this out from the gate. I know you think I was born this way, but really I was born this way. And then let that person make a decision right then. Like, you know what? I don't care. Okay, cool. You don't care. Then we can move forward. But it'd be people getting murdered over stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because, well, I don't want to tell him because if I tell him, he's gonna do whatever. You're saying, like you said, let me get them to love me first. Let me get them to like me first, and then maybe to be better. And it's all types of news stories where people have done that and the person ends up getting killed because they thought you was a woman, or maybe you are a woman. Anatomically, you are 100% woman, but you was born a man, and you know what I'm saying? But they find that out some kind of way. That could be very scary for you because people don't want to be associated with that. Some people do, some people don't. And if you are with the person that don't, they could start thinking of themselves a certain kind of way, and then they start thinking of you a certain kind of way, and it could be very dangerous and homicidal. You know what I'm saying? And so it's in everybody's best interest. Now, I mean, that's like an extreme thing where I probably wouldn't want to wait. That's something I probably would say like on the first date, because you never want to mislead anybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mislead people into thinking one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a woman and you like men and you're with a guy that was born a woman, you would want to know that up front. You don't want to find that out later. You don't want to go on several dates. You want to know up front. And if you don't care, that don't bother you, cool. But at least you know. You know what I'm saying? You have the right to make a decision from the gate. Well, you know what? I don't care about that. So let's just continue on. But if they do care about that, I think you'll get more respect from that person when you just come on and be like, look, I look like this, but I was born like this. How does that make you feel?
Now, if you watch the show at all, which we hope that you do and spread the word that we're out here, then you know I'm generally a traditionalist. Prophet is generally a traditionalist with more liberalism.
For sure.
You know, I guess
I'm a traditional liberalist. Sort of.
Exactly. Right. So, you know, with that being said, like I said, this is a therapy session, y'all. It's therapy, right? There are things that I was brought up that are men specific and things that are women specific.
For sure.
You know, we heard you talk about in the earlier in the episode that, you know, if you are capable of doing it, you should be able to do it. And I do agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. However, my mind doesn't always go there. Like my mind doesn't, you know, I accept that, but my mind doesn't always go there. My wife loves building things. Like she loves building things. And like, that was that. But I was always taught like that's what men do. Like, that's what, when you get married, you build the crib. You know what I'm saying? You responsible. You take it. You build this and you put that in and you install the shower heads or you know, whatever.
Right.
Like that's what men do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I was always taught. So in the beginning of our marriage, it was hard because like she loves building things and like she legit takes the time. She will read the directions. She'll like sit there. I'm not patient like that. Like I'm like, yo, it looks like this. I seen the box. Let's go. Let's go.
And then at the end, you got like 90 screws you ain't used.
Literally. Literally. And the joint be put together, but it might be like this. It might be, it'd be, you know what I mean? And she used to be shaking her head just like I don't know. And it was a beef. It was a beef because the man in me couldn't like get off the fact that I was supposed to be doing it. And I was like, yo, I'd rather try and fail than let you do it. Like, which it was bad. It was, therapy. America.
I'd rather try and fail than let you do it right the first time.
Absolutely. And it was
as
the
they
double
say,
standard of
pride come before the fall. And that's why what you built went like this.
Right. Yeah. I got some projects I could show you out that would turn out good, but no, like
I still got the 90 screws on the side too. It's still holding up.
It's a double standard. It definitely was a double standard, but it was my double standard. It was like how I felt. I was like, yo, no, like that's what men do. And so I'm not gonna, I'm gonna do it. And it didn't change for me until I saw that she wasn't happy. Like when I saw that she wasn't happy, then that's what changed for me, because I probably would still feel that way to this day if it wasn't for the fact that I noticed that she wasn't happy. Like that wasn't making her happy, that I was doing that. And that's when I decided, you know what, let me just let her do what she likes to do, because then we'll both be happier. So I had to come off my double standard. But yet there are still some things, that, you know, I struggle with, because I'm like, no, that's what men do. Like, that's what we do. And that's that. Right. What's your take on that, man?
I think, well, for one, I have the same exact situation. You know what I'm saying? My wife is identical to that. You know what I'm saying? She likes to build stuff, been building stuff for a long time. I know how to build stuff. I've been building stuff probably not as much as her. I did the whole thing at first too. Like, yo, I'm gonna do that. And we would literally fight and argue about it. And I just got to a point after several years, I didn't figure it out as fast as you did. after like several years, I'm just like, you know what? Go ahead and do that. My only problem is, don't come up later talking about I'm lazy, or like I don't want to do it, or I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't do that. Like, I stopped doing it because you wanted to do it, not because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's a relationship thing. That's not a double standard thing. I mean, everybody got to work out their own relationships, but it's like, I think that'd be part of the beef too, because you might be afraid that if I keep letting this person do this, that at some point they're going to try to hold it against me, that I let them do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want nothing to be held against me. I'm a man. I know who I am. It's whatever. And, you know, again, that's a relationship thing that you got to work out within your relationship. Obviously, you should trust each other. You shouldn't be worried about people holding things against you or whatever. But that's a different topic. You know what I'm saying? But I think what you did is right. You know what I'm saying? What is going to make the other person happy? You know what I'm saying? What is it that they want to do? You don't want to take their joy or the thing that they love to do because I'm a man. Like, that's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so you being a man means I can't be happy? Like,
pardon the interruption, but if you like what you saw so far,
make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their mama to tune in right now. This is your chance. Right now. Hit the bell right now.
Back to the show. Man, like, honestly, it's like, you know, societal double standards has been the episode, but, you know, real talk, be who you are. That's what I want to get across in this episode. Be who you are and be comfortable in who you are. There's so many people who have gone as far as to kill themselves for not being accepted, for societal differences or double standards. And they've gone as far as to even kill themselves because they never felt like that they could be accepted for who they are. If it's legal, you know what I mean? If it's legal, and especially if it's biblically legal, be who you are. Be comfortable enough in your own skin to be the man or the woman that you are, and everything will work out.